Hello folks, Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing here in Dallas, Texas. I've had a lot of people ask me, and I think it's an appropriate question to ask. It's about a product that I don't necessarily use all the time on a professional level, but I've had a lot of people ask me, hey Scott, can you do a review on Meguiar's Endurance Tire Gel? Do you use it? Do you like it? What do you think? Well, if you've been following my channel for a little while, most of you know, as a professional detailer, I like water-based products as far as tire dressings are concerned. But do I use this stuff? Well, I've had this bottle now for about 6 or 7 months, and that's about as much as I've used in it. There are times I do use this. There's sometimes I use it on my own cars, and I'll explain to you why. I have customers that may like and appreciate water-based dressings. Yes, they don't get slimy, they're not sticky to the touch, nothing can stick to them. But let's be honest, a lot of water-based dressings don't last all that long. But there's some pros to using a water-based dressing. They're easy to remove off the tire when you want to go apply another dressing to your tire, where something like this that's petroleum-based, that's, you know, this is like syrup. It's like this goopy stuff inside this bottle. It's petroleum-based, silicone-based, however you want to look at it. This stuff can get, and that's its advantage, and that's an advantage to it, by the way, that it is petroleum-based, it is silicone-based, and there's a lot of it, and it's like a syrup, and that's why it lasts a long time. But it's got some pros and cons, and I'll go over it with you as I work this product. But there are times my customers say, Scott, I get it, I understand about water-based products, but I want something that looks wet-looking, looks, you know, absolutely slick and shiny to the touch. That's cool. I don't judge. Now, there are some professional detailers out there that tell you that if you use a petroleum-based product, that it's the reason why it's turning your tires brown. Well, I've got good news for you. There are a lot of people who repeat things and just don't understand what's going on with the rubber tire. This stuff does not make your tires go brown. The browning that happens on the tire is a natural process within the tire. There are some certain chemicals that are helping the tire to stop or decrease its ability to break down. There's anti-ozone acid, there's all sorts of chemicals, don't overthink it. But when those chemicals come to the surface, they turn brown when they hit oxygen, when they hit air. A lot of professional detailers say this stuff makes your tires turn brown. That's not true. What this stuff does is, because it is slimy, greasy, and gooey on the surface, traffic film, dirt, dust likes to stick to it, and some professional detailers don't know the difference. They'll look at a tire that somebody's been using this on for a while, and they'll go, oh my God, it's all brown, but really what they're seeing is traffic film, dirt, grease, and grime, and blaming this for turning the tire brown. There are 2 reasons why tires turn brown. I think I kind of hit the point, right? But I'm going to show you how I use this product and why I use it. Again, I have got customers that want really wet-looking tires. Sometimes I do too, right? Maybe I feel a little sexy and I want to get them to really pop or bling. Or maybe I'm trying to take a picture of my car and throw it on Instagram, and I really want the tires to pop. This stuff here, this Meguiar's Endurance Tire Gel, as I use this stuff, I'm going to use my little blue microfiber applicator pad. Before I even begin to use any type of petroleum-based or silicone-based product, I'm going to tell you what I do. I make sure the tire is completely clean. My drug of choice is Super Clean, diluted 4:1, and I make sure this tire is completely clean. I may go over it once or twice depending on how dirty it is, but I want it absolutely clean before I put any type of tire dressing on it, because I want to give that tire dressing the best chance to bond to this tire to whatever degree that's possible. The next step I'm going to take some isopropyl alcohol, mix 50-50. 50% of this bottle is isopropyl alcohol, around 71%, whatever that stuff is, and then the rest is distilled water. I am then going to spray that isopropyl alcohol onto a towel and wipe down the tire and make sure that I completely have the tire clean and remove any residue at all that could potentially be on that tire from any degreaser that you're using. I do that to make sure that any tire dressing that I'm going to apply has the best chance to bond to the tire to whatever degree that's possible. So when I use this stuff, I'm going to put a little bit on this applicator pad, right? Now people ask me, Scott, why don't you use sponges? Why don't you use those black sponges that everybody's using? Well, I'll get it into it with you. Here I am, I'm going to apply this to the tire. This is pretty sexy stuff. It'll really make this tire pop. I'm not going to do the whole tire, I'll just do the top end of this thing. But one of the reasons why I use these blue microfiber applicators, I've explained it before in some of my other tire videos, but there's a bigger reason for it, a reason I have not discussed. As I use this applicator pad, you can see that it's staying nice and blue, right? Well, what I notice sometimes with a lot of people who make videos and they're applying a tire dressing onto their car, onto a wheel, and they're doing a video, I notice their applicator may be completely dirty, black. You know what that tells me? That tells me they might not have gotten the tire completely clean the first time before they applied the dressing. And to me, on a professional level, I want to know that. Maybe I deceived myself and I thought it was clean. But as I use this applicator, I'm going to be looking at it. Is it turning black? If it turns black, I know instantly I did not get the tire cleaned enough, so I'm going to go back in and clean it before I apply the dressing. Just a simple little tip there. That's why I use these things, so I can see the dirt, the grease, the grime. Now that I have that applied to the wheel, I like it. Hopefully it's showing on the video. It's got some really nice, sexy appeal to it, right? It's nice and flashy. It's got a lot of bling. My next issue is going to be, I want to be careful about this stuff, and this is where petroleum-based products like Meguiar's Endurance Tire Gel comes into a problem. This stuff likes to sling. Some guys will take their microfiber towel and maybe knock down the product a little bit, and that's great, that's wonderful, that will help you in the moment. But what's going to happen with a product like this, especially here in Dallas in the summertime, we get temperatures 95, 100 degrees. Even if I'm awfully careful of how I dry this down, maybe I want to take that microfiber and knock the product down, if in the future, and it will happen, as the sun hits this tire and it gets really, really hot, this gel-like formula is going to start to reactivate. It's going to become slimy and greasy again, and guess what's going to happen? It's going to sling all over the paint. It's a reason why I don't like it. Now the other issue here is if you're going to use it, it's very important that if you're going to try to apply it to a tire 2 or 3 weeks down the road and you want to do it again, you have got to make sure you use something strong like Super Clean, Meguiar Super Degreaser, and completely remove it. Make sure there's nothing left of the dressing from 2 or 3 weeks ago before you apply another dressing. This is where the problem comes. A lot of people will not get the dressing completely off the tire, and then they'll go to reapply another level of this stuff. This Meguiar's Endurance Tire Gel, this stuff will start to build up on the tire, which makes more stuff be able to stick to it, dirt, grease, grime, traffic film. Then you will start seeing the tire turn brown. That's not necessarily the natural browning that's happening with the tire, but that's the browning you may start to see. So always make sure when you apply a petroleum-based product, you make sure that you clean the tire thoroughly each time you apply it. Don't let anything build up on it. The other issue with these slimy, greasy, almost syrupy-like stuff is we've got these grooves in the tire. I'm very interested, and I want to throw this out there, see if anybody leaves a comment. Does anybody know why tires today, a lot of tire manufacturers are using, it's actually called tire siping. Siping. It's these little fancy grooves. They look like little fish gills. Does anybody know why they're there? Do you think they're just there for decorative purposes? I'd be very interested to hear what people have to say. Leave some comments down below if you know why those fancy little grooves are being used more and more in tires today. I'll give you a hint. It's not designed. It's not to make the tire look flashy. There is a purpose for it. Now, that also brings up another point. A lot of tire dressings like to get caught in these little grooves and that slimy, greasy stuff by Meguiar's, the Endurance Tire Gel. Again, I'm not throwing it under the bus. It could be appropriate for certain circumstances. Likes to hang out in those grooves. That's why if you've ever seen me use the X-Power blower, I like to blow that stuff out on a professional level so I don't get anything built up inside those the tire siping. I don't like it stuck in those grooves because that just can make it sling out of there. So I'm going to do everything I can to potentially solve that problem. Also, when you're using it, you might get some stuff on the rim. It's okay. Just go ahead and be diligent right after applying it. Get it off the rim. Make sure that stuff doesn't stay on there. It is a petroleum-based product. I don't think you necessarily want that stuff sitting on a clear coated wheel. So make sure you remove it as well. So again, I think it's a cool product. I think it's a great product. It gives you a lot of shine and bling. You just have to understand the pros and cons of it. And you can live with, if you can live with those, that's great. Just make sure you're always cleaning your tires thoroughly. I would recommend using some isopropyl wipe down to make sure the tire is absolutely clean. Also monitor your pad, your applicator pad you're applying it to. If you start seeing this pad turn black, it's a good indication you didn't clean the tire well enough. Start all over again and make sure you have a truly clean tire before applying this dressing, or any dressing in my opinion, to limit the chances of it slinging. You want to give this stuff the best chance to bond. But that's my opinion about Meguiar's Endurance Tire Gel. It's a great product. It works fine. It could sling on you when it starts getting hot in the future. If you like that, you can live with that because you want more pop and shine. I think it's a cool product, and it's a product that's extremely popular because it's all over the place. Most people, when I walk in their garage, they have it. So I thought it was a great question. Can I do a review about this? I said, sure, why not? This stuff's all over the place. So that's my opinion about Meguiar's Endurance Tire Gel. I like it. Just try to limit some of that sling if you can. Make sure the dressing can stick to the tire as well as you can. And then just monitor it as it gets hot. You may just want to take a look at it every once in a while during the hot summer months and wipe it down if it wants to reactivate and get gel-like. All right, folks. I love you all. I appreciate it. Hopefully that helps that one subscriber out. Take care. Have a good one.